Hi, this is Emma.
And Michaela.
And you're listening to
Sleeping in Park, where we talk about our trips and tips to visiting beautiful places.
Follow along as we learn and share stories about our public lands and stops along the way.
Alright, so today we are getting into Shoshone National Forest.
Yes.
It is just over 2.4 million acres in northwestern Wyoming. This area has mountains, dense forests, and alpine lakes. And it was the first federally protected national forest back in 1891. Actually, at the time, it was
It was called something else.
Federal Reserve, National Reserve.
Yes.
Yeah. Back in 1891, and then President Benjamin Harrison created it to protect the area surrounding the Yellowstone National Park. So it was originally called the Yellowstone Timberland Reserve, and then in 1908, it was operating under the same name, so it was like technically the same name, but people started to call it Shoshone, but it wasn't officially changed until 1945. And I do get more.
Okay,
I do get more.
So this park is also divided into sections like our Custer-Gallatin National Forest, not park, forest.
Forest.
Oh boy. There are 5 districts, and the headquarters are in Cody.
Wapati, I think, Ranger District is located near Cody, Wyoming. This district manages the area containing the historic Wapati Ranger Station that was built in 1903, which is the oldest remaining ranger station in the National Forest System that was funded by the government. So it's the first one that was ever funded by the government.
Yep. And then Clark's Fork Ranger District covers the northernmost part of the forest, offering access to high elevation, scenic, and rugged terrain.
And then Gray Bull Ranger District, which is located in the central part of the forest, providing access to remote wilderness areas.
And the Wind River Ranger District is based out of Du Bois, Wyoming. That district manages areas bordering the Wind River mountain range.
And then Washakie Ranger District, which is located there near Lander, Wyoming, and that covers the southern part of the forest.
Oh, and there's a park map.
There's a park map, yeah. So
this is probably there the whole time. We just were so excited to tell you about all the districts in this.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
These ones are more connected than the Custer-Gallatin.
Yeah,
it's
not.
It makes more
out.
sense to me.
Yes, it's all like one main
unit.
There's not different units.
You will have seen in the map that was just on the screen if you are watching.
But if not,
that's true. We always are so discriminatory of listeners. I'm sorry.
We haven't recorded in a while, so we're feeling kind of like
we stacked up.
We missed it.
Yeah, we did.
So anyway,
it's been a while. I think it's been 3 weeks.
It has.
That's crazy.
For
a while we were recording 2 episodes a week.
Yeah,
that was insane. Okay.
That was a lot.
That was too much.
It was. But I did. Don't get me wrong. The break was nice, but I really missed it too.
Me too. I kept thinking, "Oh, I have a minute. What podcasts are we doing?" And then I thought, "I'm done with our outlines. What am I gonna do? I can do other things? That's crazy."
We can get into the geology and a little bit of the ecology as well. So there's a couple different wildernesses that are inside of the National Forest, and I'll kind of go through each one of them. The North Absaroka Wilderness, which is 14% of the National Forest. And Absaroka is actually the Crow word for crow. It is. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. But this area is defined by rugged volcanic mountains, and there's a very few lakes in this area, but a lot of streams with a wide variety of fish. The mountains here are entirely volcanic, and geologists have identified 15 eruptive centers with activities similar to Mount St. Helens.
That is cool.
Which I thought was really interesting.
We did know they were volcanic.
Yes. Yeah, but I didn't know there was so many. Most of this region's mountain consists of volcanic breccia, which is a mix of angular rock fragments, so it's basically just like broken up rocks, mixed with a hardened mud matrix, which is also mixed with lava. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
And then there is the Absaroka Beartooth Wilderness, which makes up 1% of it is in 1% of it is in the National Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say. This wilderness area spans to Shoshone, Gallatin, or Custer-Gallatin National Forest, and it's in total 943,684 acres, with only 23,964 of them in Shoshone National Forest. But this is where the Absaroka and Beartooth ranges merge. We've already talked about the volcanic Absaroka Mountains, which are darker and more craggy, and the Beartooth Mountains have more high plateaus with deep valleys and alpine lakes and meadows. The Beartooth Mountains also contain Montana's highest peak, which is Granite Peak, at 12,799 feet at the summit. The Beartooth Mountains were uplifted around 70 million years ago during the Laramide orogeny, and this wilderness also has Grasshopper Glacier, which is a glacier containing millions of now extinct grasshoppers frozen in it.
Is that why it's called that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know that?
No.
I thought we talked about... Maybe not. Because wasn't there one in Custer-Gallatin, too?
Yeah, it's the larger one.
It's the largest one, yeah. But that's why it's called... Yeah, but yeah. It's just a bunch of different kinds of grasshoppers that are all now extinct.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But apparently it's also, like, melting really fast. Like, faster than, I guess, they expected it to.
Yes, so, I also learned that.
The next wilderness is the... Okay, forgive me if I say this wrong. Paposia Wilderness. 4.2% of it is in the National Forest. This area is a total of 101,870 acres within the Wind River Range, and it's mostly known for its granite peaks and 300 plus high alpine lakes, such as Lonesome Lake. There are over 34 named peaks in this area, including Wind River Peak at 13,186 feet high, and Cirque of the Towers, which is a semicircle of 12,000 foot tall jagged peaks that make up a portion of the Continental Divide in the Wind River Range.
I actually talk about that hike later.
Do you really?
I believe so.
I think it's so cool. Like, I want to see it. I want to see it. And then there's the Fitzpatrick Wilderness, which is 7.9% of the National Forest. And this area is 198,525 acres, with all of it being in the Shoshone National Forest. This area is known for its granite peaks, including Wyoming's highest point, Gannett Peak at 13,800 feet. And this wilderness has 44 active glaciers, 3 of them surrounding Gannett Peak, with the largest one in the U.S. Rockies being Gannett Glacier.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Many of the glaciers in this area are in a state of rapid retreat, but also serve as a main vital water source for the surrounding area. And this area is home to one of 3 grasshopper glaciers, named for the numerous extinct grasshoppers frozen in its ice. Okay, so apparently I did
forgot that.
Yeah.
You knew that?
Yeah, apparently.
That's okay.
And then there's the Washakie Wilderness, which is 28% of the National Forest. Makes up 704,174 acres, with all of it being within the National Forest. The mountains within this range are actually part of the Absaroka Range, which is the remnants of an ancient volcanic field that was active 43 to 53 million years ago. Most of the rocks within this range and in the wilderness are part of the Absaroka Volcanic Supergroup. And a supergroup is basically a combination of groups and formations that share a significant geological similarities, like depositional history in this case. So this supergroup consists of a collection of different rocks that are mostly igneous or volcanic glastic. That type of rocks are sedimentary, that are made up from sediments derived from igneous material. And the land within the Washakie Wilderness is pretty rugged with some deep and narrow valleys.
Okay, can we pause? Can you explain to me one more time? Mm-hmm. So what is a supergroup?
So supergroup, how I understood it was, it's like, they were all, so I guess everything that was made from like the Laramide orogeny,
Mhm.
that could be a supergroup because it all came.
That's huge.
So it all came from like the same, or it's got similar history. Like it all came from the same main thing.
Okay. So
I think.
so most of the Rockies then, or at least the Rockies all in Wyoming that we've been talking about?
I think so, but I also don't know if that's too far
together.
back. I don't know if that's like dates too far back. But in
And the
my head, like
supergroup
that,
is
like it's
more recent.
geologically,
Yeah.
more recent. I think.
Happening that was similar.
I think. Well, just like the Laramide, like that happened 70 million years ago, right? And this was, or the volcanic field was about 50 million years ago. So it's like that one, or I guess another one could be like Yellowstone because of the volcanic field under it.
Mhm.
I think maybe like all the
That's a
different,
supergroup.
that could be a supergroup, possibly.
That would make sense.
But yeah. What is the mountain of Wyoming's highest peak?
It's like Garrett, but it's not. It's like Gannett.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's Gannett. Good job.
Thank you.
Well,
I kept really wanting you to say Garrett. I don't know. And I was like, Gannett isn't right. Why am I saying Gannett?
Well, I was going to try and trip you up, and I was going to maybe ask you about the Montana one, like the highest Montana.
It starts with a G, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What is the Montana one?
Granite.
Ah, that's why
it's Granite.
That's
Peak.
why I'm thinking GR. I'm like, why?
No, that one's Granite Peak, and the Wyoming one is Gannett Peak.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, I said Gannett a lot more because of the Gannett Glacier and the 3 glaciers that surround Gannett Peak, and so I was like, well, that one might be a little bit better. Anyway, we will get into human history now. So I should have gone into the reasoning behind all of this. Because it was honestly it's all over the place. Anyway, we'll get into it. In 1891, the Absaroka and Wind River Range became part of the Yellowstone Timberland Reserve, which eventually became the Shoshone National Forest, but that wasn't until 1905. Right now, we are in 1891, right? Okay. So after the creation of the U.S. Forest Service is when it became a national forest, but it was
but
it was not Shoshone National Forest.
Right.
All right, now we get into other stuff. So anyway, before it became a national forest, many different American tribes lived there, dating back up to 10,000 years, with archaeological evidence. But Chief Washakie led the eastern band of the Shoshone in the east, and he negotiated with the government for the 2.2 million acre Wind River Indian Reservation back in 1868. And then in the early 19th century is when John Coulter and Jim Bridger explored the area and kind of like, I guess, reported back to whoever they report back to. And then in 1891 was when President Benjamin Harrison created the Yellowstone Park Timberland Reserve, which was the first U.S. forest reserve. So it was like the first federally protected forest. Yeah. And then in 1902 was when President Theodore Roosevelt separated the reserve into 4 units, and Shoshone was the largest.
So there was a Shoshone unit.
So yeah, there was a Shoshone unit, and that one was the largest. I don't know what the other ones were. Again, I should have put more into this, but it's okay.
It's good to have questions, and then people will go look into it themselves.
Yeah, it's not true. Yeah, gotta keep people intrigued. Can't have all the information.
It's true. You can't.
You can't.
We're only one person. How much can we do?
Exactly. So at this point, it's still a reserve.
Yep.
And then in 1905, it was designated as a national forest. Mm-hmm. So at that point, it was just the Yellowstone Park Timberland National Forest.
With separate units
with
still.
4 separate
Shoshone
units.
Being the largest of the units.
Yes. But it also, for whatever reason, don't know how it started, people started calling it Shoshone National Forest, like the whole thing, Shoshone National Forest, instead of
maybe because it was the largest unit.
It was
that actually kind of just seems like it would be
logical
a thing.
Sense.
Yeah.
So it's just the largest
Shoshone,
unit. Yeah. And so they just started referring to the whole thing as the Shoshone National Forest. And then in 1945 is when the name became official, and then all the current boundaries of the park became official. So I also, all the units and everything became official in 1945.
Very nice.
So yeah, it's more complicated than it needed to be, I feel like, the way I explained it.
No, it's good.
Don't even lie to me right now.
I was a little confused at the beginning how we started going into
Yep,
and then we stopped. But then we did go into it, and then we learned. And then we were like...
Yeah. But I did learn about this really cool town called Kerwin.
Yeah?
And I want to go there so bad. It sounds so
new?
cool. I know, right? What's new?
Where do we not want to go?
I don't know.
Me neither. So tell me about Kerwin.
Yeah. So
sounds like Kirby, and I like it. I don't know why. It makes me think of the Kirby movie.
Like Kirby, like, isn't that the one with the car?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the town Kerwin was built during the gold rush for people who were looking for a better life with the chance of finding either gold or silver. This town had a hotel, general stores, a post office, and mining headquarter buildings. Roughly about 200 people lived here. And although gold and silver were found, it wasn't enough to make any sort of profit off of it because of how much it cost to like haul it out. And because of where they were, that just made it more difficult.
I was gonna say that we'll go into the Beartooth Highway episode that we're gonna have coming out on Patreon.
Yay!
Because I already know I talk about that.
We talked about this in another episode too.
Probably the Custer Gallatin.
Custer Gallatin. I'm sure you're right. Yeah. But in the early 1900s, there was a big avalanche that tore through the town, took out buildings. 3 people died, and starting right after the avalanche, that's when people started to leave, and it kind of just like more and more people left until it was a ghost town. Now it's completely abandoned. Most of the buildings are still standing, and then
I do think I know about this town because I think it's a really great place for dark sky stargazing.
I'm sure it is.
I think we're going to see at the end in my trip planning, but I'm pretty sure it's it.
Yeah, I'm sure it is because I couldn't really find any other ghost towns, I guess. But you can visit this town. However, it is quite the jaunt to get there.
That's why it's
difficult.
Really good for dark skies, I think.
Yeah. I don't know how to say this town name, but it's about 40 miles from Metiste? I don't know.
That sounds right.
Yeah. And the dirt road that takes you to the town is like up into the mountains, through creek beds, steep grades. Like, I know I laughed when I read that. I was like,
people really do drive
familiar.
Yeah. No, thank you. I'll pass for now. Someone else can drive me there.
So, if you don't have a car that has 4-wheel drive, or you just don't want to take your car through a river or a stream or whatever they want to call it, flowing water, there are tour companies that will take you there. They will take you to this town and they'll give you a little history lesson like on your way out there, because these companies are in Metiste or whatever, and there's also like a Kerwin visitor center.
Oh, very cool.
Also in Metiste, or forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. I'm just gonna, But there's a visitor center for Kerwin there. And then there's the tour companies leave from Metiste, and then so it's like a 40-mile drive. And I don't know how long the jank dirt road is, but probably not
short.
Yeah, I would assume so. And then there is the Wapati ranger station that's about 30 miles west of Cody, and it was the very first ranger station built with federal expenses in the U.S. This was in 1903, and then in 1963, it was added to the National Register of Historic Places as a national landmark. And this ranger station and the facilities around it are still used to this day.
I love it.
Which I thought was really cool.
Good job doing that.
Yeah. But before the government started funding ranger stations, they relied mostly on private donations, as well as some pretty sporadic support from the state. And then they also had the U.S. Army come in and build and maintain some of the structures.
And actually, it was in our Custer Gallatin episode, I believe, we learned about one specific man, a ranger, who built his own house that is a ranger station.
Yeah.
It was a house in the back, kind of, and then also a ranger visitor station, and now that's what it is today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like the first one, I can't remember because I did look it up, but it's in the Bitterroot Mountain or Bitterroot National Forest in Montana is the first ever built ranger station.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what year it was though.
That's okay.
But I know it's in the Bitterroot National Forest.
And it would have been sometimes between the 1890s and early 1900s because of the first National Reserve was made in 1891.
Yeah.
This one, the Yellowstone.
It was like,
Reserve.
I want to say it was like 93 or something. 1893.
That's okay.
But yeah, I just thought that was really interesting that they relied on like private donations. That was like, I didn't think it was such a big thing. Yeah. I guess it was new, so it might have been pretty big.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought that was really cool.
That is really cool.
But that's all I got for human history. My question for you is, I do need to look back. When was it designated as a national forest?
1905.
Yeah!
Thank you. I'm so excited to tell you about animals today because do you remember how I said I wasn't going to go down any more rabbit holes?
Yes, I do. Well, I also saw the 2 full pages of animal notes you had when we agreed to do one per section.
But it was like 1.5.
But it was like 2 full pages. I'm not kidding.
Okay, but it'll go so quick, and you want to know why?
Why?
Because I first started looking into what animals just live in Shoshone National Forest.
Sorry, I gotta get cozy.
Yeah, get cozy. I'm so excited to tell you about this.
I'm so excited to listen.
And you're gonna think it's the cutest thing ever. Are you okay?
Good.
Okay. So there are a lot of animals that live there.
Mm-hmm.
But I read the list, and then I got very curious about one specific one. And so the whole rabbit hole is on one specific one.
Okay.
And see, I wanted to go more into the other ones because there's a lot of grizzly bears here, and I didn't dive into grizzly bears. So
okay, but I think it's good to dive into a new animal just because it's like we talk so much about similar animals.
Yes, I know.
All the
we
time.
haven't touched on this one yet, so I'm very excited. Okay, so in Shoshone National Forest, there are grizzly, black bears, tens of thousands of elk, moose, bighorn sheep, mule deer, pronghorn, gray wolves, coyotes, bobcats, fox, badgers, marmots, prairie dogs, various bats, bald eagles, and cutthroat trout. And in case you wanted to know, Shoshone National Forest in Nevada has wild horses because at first I was seeing that they had wild horses and I was like, there's no way. They don't. There's a Shoshone National Forest in Nevada that has wild horses.
So there's 2 different Shoshone National Forests.
And there's a Shoshone Falls in Idaho. There's so many Shoshones. We could do a whole episode about all the Shoshone places. But Shoshone National Forest in Wyoming does have the highest concentration of elk in the lower 48.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I meant to discuss grizzly bears and elk being in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem, but then started with foxes and wanted to learn more. But because I dove so far into fox, I figured I'm going to throw one fact out for each of the animals I met. So one interesting one that I don't think we've known or talked about before. So grizzly bears in the Rockies are known in late summer to climb to alpine talus slopes to feed on army cutworm moths. Up to 40,000 moths a day. So they'll like flip over rocks and so these moths are packed with fat and calories. And they'll just eat a whole bunch of moths. Like that's their main food source sometimes. Up to 40. Isn't that crazy? 40,000 moths.
Yeah,
but they're just so packed full of fat and calories, which I also think is crazy.
Yeah, because they're so little. Like, are these?
I didn't look into the moth. I just have heard of them before, but I thought that was really cool, and that was a unique fact.
Per day too is bonkers.
Yeah, I don't think we've mentioned that before. So
I don't think so.
And then also this one's very cool. They're like little reindeer apparently. So, but even though reindeer exist, they're they're like cute animal reindeer. So Rocky Mountain elk possess a unique, rarely known ability to communicate through their feet with specialized ankle bones that create a distinct clicking or popping sound to alert nearby herd members. thing. I didn't know that. Also, I did know this from the Meat Eater podcast, but additionally, they possess 2 upper canine teeth known as ivories, which are remnants of prehistoric saber-like tusks. So their 2 canine teeth are ivory. So you can, like, you know what what poachers will steal off of elephants and rhinos, whatever. Elk actually have ivory teeth. I didn't know that. Yeah, they got 2 ivory teeth.
That's cool. I'm gonna listen to the Meat Eater podcast with my dad, and I'm gonna tell him that I know the answer to that one. I'm so excited. He's gonna be like, "No, you're wrong." I'm like, "That I'm right.
It's elk.
It's elk. I'm right."
Rocky Mountain elk, specifically, if you need to know.
Oh my gosh, that's my favorite thing ever.
Yeah, those are my fun facts about the animals I meant to research. Now, let me tell you how interesting the Rocky Mountain red fox are. Yeah. Because it's crazy. Also, I don't know why I was specifically drawn to fox, but I love them even more after I pulled the fox out of the bag. And now,
that's why you were drawn to the foxes.
They actually, okay, I don't think I wrote this in my notes, but the Shoshone National Forest has all 3 types of fox, I think, found in North America. Oh. So there's the gray fox and the red fox, and then there are subspecies of those. So there's like a Sierra Nevada red fox or something. But they also have, I think it's called the swift fox, which is the smallest fox in America. Yeah. But I didn't go into them because I got too, there's not found as much in the mountainous area. They're more actually on the eastern side of Wyoming, more in kind of the plains. Oh. But I'm very intrigued by the swift fox now because here, we will green screen a picture because they look kind of silly. And I want Mikhail to see.
Are those the ones with, like, the really humongous ears?
I don't know if I'd say really humongous, but they just kind of look like a coyote mixed with or like a dingo. That one looks, I don't know. That one's cute.
They are kind of adorable, though.
Yeah. And they're little. So it has all 3 types of species technically, but I think swift and gray are more rarely seen. Okay. So the most common in the forest is the Rocky Mountain red fox. But Rocky Mountain red fox are a unique subspecies as they are distinct from the non-native red fox. And they've evolved over thousands of years living in the Rocky Mountains. So they have thicker coats due to the cold, larger fur-covered paws for traveling over snow, similar to lynx and wolves that we've learned about.
They have really cute paws.
They are typically smaller than eastern red fox and frequently lighter blonde to grayish or paler coats than the bright red to help them blend in with their alpine environment. And this is especially true with fox that live closer or above 7,500 feet in elevation.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Because if you think of the environment they're around, it's not as brightly colored and it would be harder to blend in there. Mm-hmm. So they are highly adaptable, small to medium-sized omnivores consuming small rodents, birds, insects, vegetation, and berries, and weigh 8 to 15 pounds. Oh, so the swift fox have to be even smaller if I was thinking. Those little swift fox are the tiniest.
They're like the size of a house cat.
Yeah. Well, this is like the size of a house cat.
Well, yeah.
They're a little bit smaller. I feel like fox, we definitely see bigger fox around here.
Yeah.
I see
fox. Well, because we see fox that are like
25, 30. I was going to say.
Yeah.
They're like 30 pounds.
Yeah, they big old boys.
They are. But they stand about 20 inches tall with slender bodies, long snouts, large ears for detecting prey, and a white-tipped tail. So this white-tipped tail is found on every red fox and is used to distinguish them from other fox species, such as the gray fox that have black-tipped tails. I did not know. And that's
I guess now that I'm like thinking about what a gray fox looks like.
But I never see gray fox, I feel like. I see red fox all the time.
Like seen pictures of them now, and I'm like, oh, I guess in pictures I do see them with like a black tail.
Yeah.
But like I think of a fox and I think of Todd from Fox and the Hound, and he's a red fox.
Yeah.
Because it's like my all-time favorite movie.
I love Fox and the Hound.
Literally.
Also, the first time we were at the Tetons, Beyer Mountain, we saw a fox. Anyway, so
Us and foxes, apparently.
Despite their small size, they can run over 30 miles an hour, leap over 6 feet high, and jump 15 feet. To be fair, my dog Bullet can also jump over 6 feet. But they're smaller than Bullet.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
And also can run over 30 miles an hour.
That's so fast.
And 15 feet is so far.
And for such a small thing, could you imagine how fast their little...
If you guys are only listening, you're missing out on our actions tonight.
They gotta be like just booking it. I want to know what that looks like. Their feet are just in like
They're so little.
like they're just blurs.
Or they gotta do really big, even big strides.
But their big strides are
20
like
inches.
big.
Oh, okay. But they thrive in diverse ecosystems that include mountain alpine, dense forests, open meadows, and often favor areas with mixed plant communities. They may dig their own dens or take over abandoned ones, usually on the south-facing slope, and may occupy more than one and move if disturbed. So they might have multiple dens all the time. And then
So they den on the south-facing slope? Or
yeah, that or most
why.
typically they do.
Yeah, but I wonder why.
I'm not sure. I just said it just specifically said most likely south-facing slope.
That's interesting.
I know. And then sun rises in the east and sets in the west.
So I get not wanting to do it on a slope facing those ways, but like
why not north?
Why not north?
I don't know, maybe you get more north winds. You get less west winds. Maybe?
Winds?
Or south winds? Maybe. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
So sometimes they're active during the day, especially when they need to forage for their pups, but they are mostly nocturnal and like to stay out of their heat because of their thick coat. So, and also to avoid human interaction, and most of their prey is active at night anyway. Yeah. So God just made them nocturnal animals mostly.
That's fair.
And because of their specialized vision, they are better at hunting at night. So we'll get into their vision. So red foxes have excellent night vision, and similar to cats, have vertically split pupils that narrow in bright light and widen in darkness, allowing effective hunting 24 hours a day.
That's so cool.
And a specialized layer behind the retina reflects light back through it, increasing low light and causes their characteristic eye shine. So when you see fox kind of shine a light at them in the dark,
kind of like how we did with Roxy. Yeah. Close, eyes, close.
That was my pet cat when I was little.
But this was like 10 years ago. Probably more.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We were really little. Roxy was really little because she was spry then.
She was.
Roxy lived to like 20.
She was a very old cat.
Yeah. She made it up there.
Yeah, she did.
That's crazy.
She lived a good life.
She definitely did. She lived a good life. She was a little crazy cat, but
she was.
We were trying to find her one night, and in the darkness.
With a laser pointer too, not even with a flashlight.
To play.
We were, because we were up on the top bunk. Cause this is when you were still upstairs, and had the bunk beds, and we were laying on the top bunk, and we go, close, eyes, close, eyes. That was so fun. I think
we were really little then. It had to have been more than 10 years ago because I moved into the basement like 14.
That's true. Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah. It was.
But they also so this specialized eye shine is called a tupitum loshidome, I think that's how you say it.
Sure.
But it also allows them to thrive in darkness. So red fox are known for their mousing techniques, which is freeze, listen, and then leap. As they use the Earth's magnetic field as a rangefinder or targeting system to hunt, particularly when pouncing to dive headfirst of prey hidden under snow or grass, it helps them judge distance and depth.
Interesting.
They are the only known animal on Earth to use the magnetism for hunting. While others use it for purposes like traveling and direction, they don't know of any other ones that use it for hunting that I could find.
So cool.
Yeah. Isn't it? So
interesting.
They align themselves with magnetic north to improve hunting success rates of 73 to 75%. So apparently when they're aligned with magnetic north of the Earth, it's like their eyes. It was explaining it kind of like you see circle ring, kind of like a rangefinder, how you see a rangefinder. You see the rings of like the magnetic field, kind of. It's
what?
Yeah. They don't know. This is their hypothesis. So they know they use the magnetic field for hunting. They don't know exactly how. They think it's because I get into it.
That's so weird.
Yeah. But if they're aligned in any other direction other than north, they're hunting success rate drops to 18 to 60% instead of the 70 or above percent. And it's hypothesized that fox can detect it through their eyes via special proteins called cryptochromes, I believe, as a ring of shadow in the retina as they're hunting.
Here.
Yeah. See what I mean? How you could go down a hole?
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
this is so cool. But
dude, Patreon episode. Let's do a whole,
on all 3 kinds of fox.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We could do an episode per fox.
We have too many episodes we want to do on Patreon. We gotta squish them together a little bit.
We do. We just got to.
But we could. Yeah. Because we also talked about doing one on each wolf project, and
That's so true. And my mom actually said she was listening to that episode when we got into the wolves, because I talked about it. Yeah, I know. That's why I told her. But I was talking about it a couple weeks ago for whatever reason. And then she listened to that episode of us talking about the wolves, and then she brought it up the other day, and then I got into it again. And then everybody was looking at me like I was crazy. And I was like, well, you brought it up, not me. Sorry.
I was just putting in my 2 cents.
Putting in my 84 cents. Because I talked for a long time.
I would too.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Anytime anyone brings up an animal, I just start spitting
facts. Okay, because we're like an national park.
And I won't shut up.
I
would talk for 2 minutes without breathing about these muleys and their specific jumping length. They can jump over 8 feet high and over 25 feet running long jump.
Because we'll die because their body overheats at 78 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we need to get back to the fox.
The fox.
Because we have
fancy magnetic eyeballs.
We have even more cool things to learn about them. So they can also detect high-frequency sounds such as rodents moving under several feet of snow from 100 feet away.
I think I learned that on Wildcats.
So I thought their ears are so small to be able... I thought their ears were too small to be able to... You know, like they got cute little dainty ears. They don't have gigantic ears.
Yeah.
To be able to hear that. But despite their small size, they are highly mobile. And when pointed in the right direction, they act as satellite dishes that amplify sound,
that makes sense.
which is how they can still hunt in noisier environments. So like in the city, or like when they live in the suburbs, when their ears point a certain way, they kind of satellite and magnify that one specific sound.
Yeah.
And that's how they can hunt, even in like
a noisy area.
Which is so cool.
Interesting.
See what I mean? They're very adaptable too.
Yeah.
Clearly. But
yeah.
They are also highly communicative, capable of making over 40 different sounds over 5 octaves, which is more than the average human. So the average human has 1.5 to 2 octaves. And then trained singers highly trained singers have 3 octaves. And in the extreme case, like only a few people have an extreme range of 4 to 6. So even the best singers in the entire world can only have as many as 5. Yeah. But their sounds range from barks to screams, allowing them to avoid physical conflict, attract mates, and communicate with kids. So they are generally solitary home ranges that average around 730 acres per fox, though they form family units during the breeding season.
730 acres per fox?
Yeah. For Rocky Mountain red fox.
Okay, but still.
I know, that's a lot.
Dang.
But there's a lot of acres out there.
There is.
But during breeding season, it occurs in the winter, February to March, and then gestation lasts 51 to 54 days, with pups being born late March to April, with an average of 4 to 8 pups born in dens in the spring, and a range of 1 to 12 pups, but the typical litter is 4 to 8. And they are born in early spring. The pups or kits, they have so many different names. You know how some are called... Fox have lots of different names. But they are deaf and dependent on the vixen, also known as the mother, for warmth, and they don't open their eyes until day 9 to 14.
Really?
And this part I thought was really interesting. Just for animal species, they're actually cared for by both parents in the den for 4 to 5 weeks. So it's like the dad takes a little paternity leave.
Oh, that's so cute.
I thought so.
Also, it's really interesting that they're deaf.
Well, when they're born, but they
Oh, just like
Yeah.
just like right away. That doesn't last for
No.
like 14
Same
days.
thing as like kittens and puppies
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Okay.
But they
That
can't.
makes-
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. I was
Yeah.
like, so how long does this deafness last?
I would say probably about a week.
Okay.
But the kits begin to venture outside the den, playing nearby, and by weeks 7 to 8, they're accompanying adults on hunts. During the summer, kits are highly active and may be seen playing in the daylight, even though they are generally nocturnal. Pups are fully weaned by 10 to 12 weeks, and they are practicing seeing pouncing on insects and leaves and other small prey brought by their parents. So their parents will like bring them small prey for them to practice pouncing on it.
That's so cute.
But they begin hunting on their own, but parents still bring them food until about 4 months or 16 weeks, and by late summer or early fall, September, October time, the family unit breaks up and the young foxes are fully independent. Yeah. Young males usually leave to find their own territory further away, while some females may stay close to the original den to assist in further breeding seasons, and by 10 months, they are sexually mature and ready to mate in the coming winter. But 20 to 30% of kits will survive their first year.
Really?
Yes. So 70 to 80% die before reaching maturity. And maturity is only about 1 year. So it's just about 1 year. But this means that only about one from every litter will survive past 12 months.
Oh my gosh. Did it, when you're doing research, to say like what the reasons were?
I believe yes.
Okay.
So their lifespan in the wild is 3 to 4 years on average, and in captivity can live up to 12 years.
Oh wow.
Major threats to kits specifically include predation, especially from coyotes as they kill fox to reduce competition, as well as starvation, diseases such as mange or distemper, and vehicle collisions.
That's so sad.
But it did say specifically coyotes were, it seemed, predation was the highest kill rate. Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was crazy percentage.
Yeah. Foxes, they gotta figure out how to.
Well, I think that's why, because I thought there are so many kits. How can they not be overpopulated?
Yeah.
And I think it's because only 1 to 2 lives out of a litter.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh. I wonder if the parents are being sad.
Well, animals don't have emotion typically. Yeah. So, I would say no, but I would be sad. Clearly.
Well,
that's terrible. But stop talking about dead baby sloths.
Yeah, okay.
So they are known for their intelligence and adaptability to human-influenced landscapes. They help the ecosystem by rodent control, seed dispersal because of their berries and eating foraging.
Kind of like bears.
Yeah. And scavenging. They are doing well, and their population isn't on the decline compared to the Sierra Nevada and Cascade red fox, whose populations are declining due to various reasons, including hybridization, where they're breeding with. So, like, the Sierra Nevada fox is breeding with a non-Sierra Nevada red fox. Okay, the first one is going to be, at what elevation or above does their coat typically change from a...
Oh, it was like 75
Yes,
feet?
that's exactly right. Good job. And then my second question will be, how many octaves do red fox have?
5.
Nice job, buddy. See, we could totally do a Kahoot at the end.
We totally could.
Of a trip.
Yeah.
If we did it on animals, we'd for sure get 100%.
I think so.
Or at least 90%.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. Anyway, so now we'll get into how to visit Shoshone.
You know what we could do?
Forest?
You know what we could do? We could make a Kahoot. Make it available to them. We can do that.
We can do that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, Michaela will figure out how to do that. But
yeah,
that would be so fun.
Yeah, it would.
And then we get to see who the leaders are.
Yeah.
And if you guys learned more than us.
Oh my gosh, that'd be actually so cool.
We should do that.
That'd be actually so fun.
Yeah. We should.
I hope people do it. Because otherwise it won't be as fun. That'd be so cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
But how to visit Shoshone National Forest?
Yes.
So I'd say, how long would you say to stay?
I
you
would
could
say,
drive through it in one
okay.
day, but it depends if you're
Sorry.
God, this is so hard with national forests.
Well, yeah, because I just don't.
You don't have as many accessible off-the-road things like national
It's
parks.
not as accessible. So I think if your goal was to see the whole forest, the whole
Or the
majority of it, you could spend probably 3 days, 4 days.
I thought you were going to say a week. Yeah, I would say 5 days probably. Because if you're going through the whole forest, you want to do hikes in different parts or drive roads in different parts, or
I'd say.
But okay, your perfect amount of time. If you want to see a medium amount, we don't see everything when we go to a national park. It's always good to leave things for when you come back.
Exactly. But
I would even say 1 to 2 days. I think
I would do 2 days.
2 days.
2 days, and I think I would feel like I saw most of it.
Yeah. But still, there are lots to come back.
There's a lot to come back to.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
I think 2 days.
Yep. 2 days, yeah. And then you can do some scenic drives, maybe find some wildlife and do some hikes for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. And then so some places to stay if you are visiting Shoshone National Forest. We stay at campgrounds. There are a lot of campgrounds in national forests, in case you didn't know. But there are 2 lodges. So, just outside. So, Lava Mountain Lodge outside of Du Bois, Wyoming, and then Shoshone Lodge and Guest Ranch is outside of Cody. But those are 2. They're in the national forest. They're just in very different parts.
Oh.
So, and there's also, you can't just stay at one of these and then expect to get to the top very easily. It's kind of a longer than you saw if you're watching. It kind of weaves from the Beartooth Highway to around Yellowstone to down to the other side of Grand Teton.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird, curvy, not as skinny as the Bighorn Canyon National Recreation Area, but more of a Snake Lake parenthesis kind of thing. There are gateway towns with plenty of lodging. Cody, as we've said, is the headquarters for this forest. Du Bois along the Wind River for access to the Wind River District, and Lander is on the southern edge.
Yep.
And then there are 36 campgrounds and cabins inside the park, but a favorite just from each district. So in the Wapiti district, there is the Wapiti campground that offers electric hookups. So it's located 30 miles between Cody and 20 miles from Yellowstone National Park. And then we have Clark's Fork district. Hunter Peak Campground has access to fishing and hiking along Clark Fork of the Yellowstone River. The Grable district has Wood River Campground, which is situated along Wood River and close to Kerwin, the historic mining ghost town. The Wind River District has Falls Campground situated next to Brooks Lake Creek Falls with beautiful views of the nearby falls and cliffs for an immersive forest feel. And then the Washakie District has Aspen Glade Campground with sites nestled in aspen and pine trees. And there are so many inside the National Forest. I don't know if you need campgrounds outside the National Forest, but there is Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Parks that are very close to the National Forest. But then you're staying in a national park.
Yeah.
But that means you could see Grand Teton and see Shoshone, same trip. But
and Yellowstone.
Yeah.
You could really,
Yeah, you could see a lot, for sure.
Oh my gosh. I was just thinking of when we go over a perfect trip. 8 days in Grand Teton, a day through Yellowstone, and a day in...
No, you need more than a day in Yellowstone if we're doing a perfect trip.
If we're doing a perfect trip, yeah.
But, so the seasons in each time would be spring, you'd have the snowfall that makes for peak waterfall viewing, wildflower fields in lower elevations only, and you could spot newborn wildlife like elk, maybe bear cubs, and many trails and roads are impassable until late June in this national forest. Summer, all high altitude roads, including the Beartooth Highway, are open. Campgrounds are open. Warm days and cool nights, perfect for recreation. High visibility for moose near lakes. Peak tourist season for towns like Cody and Lander, as well as thunderstorms and mosquitoes are in this time. So
yeah. Oh, I just want to add in here the Beartooth Highway that opens
Memorial Day
and is closed October 15th, depending on weather, unless they get snow earlier.
Yeah.
But it usually closes about October 15th. Yeah.
And then in the fall, you'll have the elk rut, and bears are more active as they prepare for winter with vibrant autumn colors, and visitor numbers drop significantly. Sometimes early snowstorms. Many services close mid to late September, and then winter is great for snowmobiling. This is a great national forest for snowmobiling. Cross-country skiing, ice climbing. Bighorn sheep and eagles are easier to spot in lower canyons, and you have extreme cold.
Yeah.
And then campsites, bathrooms, Beartooth Highway, and other roads close in winter.
Yeah.
Because it's very high in the mountains.
Very high.
But for a great spot for the sunrise, we have Togwotee Pass for views of the Wind River Range in stunning morning colors. Beartooth Highway offers unobstructed views of the Absaroka and Beartooth Mountains, great for both sunrise and sunset. And then Brooks Lake area located near Togwotee Pass offers serene reflective sunrises or sunsets over the lake with reflections of the pinnacles of the mountains. And then another great spot for sunset is the Green River Lakes area, providing stunning reflective sunset views of square top mountains over the lakes. Doesn't this make you just want to go catch some mountain sunrises and sunsets?
Yes.
I wanted to anyway. And then, so I broke up the cycling a little bit because we have road cycling with Beartooth Highway provides steep, high altitude riding if you really want that.
Yeah, I don't know if I would
not
ride a bike on Beartooth.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone the other day. Oh, it was at work, and they were talking about biking. It was on one of the roads from Minnesota to Wisconsin where it's curvy and you go uphill a little bit. And I was like, why would you want to bike that? I don't think I would have. And then someone else said something about maybe if it was an electric bike, and he was like, no, I was talking about a motorcycle. I would never bike that.
Oh.
I was like, yeah, valid.
That makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense.
Good for you bikers out there, but it just ain't me.
No, me neither.
Yeah, but then we also have mountain biking, so they have great trails in the National Forest with some including Middle Fork Trail, Sheep Bridge, and Shoshone Lake. And then climbing, the Wind River Mountains, particularly near Wild Iris, are famous for their climbing areas for mountain climbing. And then hunting, we have premier rugged hunting for elk, mule deer, bighorn sheep, moose, antelope, black bear, and grizzly bear, with multiple outfitters offering guided hunts, with specifically SNS outfitters offering traditional backcountry horse-packed elk hunts. Don't look at me like that. But you will need permits for all those. Those are lottery too, where you'll have to submit for.
So if we submit right now,
we might not even get it in the next year.
But we could
start. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
But then we have fishing, premier trout fishing, particularly along the north and south forks of the Shoshone River and numerous alpine lakes. You have rainbow, brown, brook, and Yellowstone cutthroat trout along the North Fork corridor near Cody and Sunlight Basin. And then boating and rafting. Kayaking and rafting are popular with advanced whitewater opportunities in the upper Shoshone River only. And then paddleboarding. Brooks Lake is a great spot for paddleboarding. I mentioned that spot for sunrise and sunset too, so
it's a perfect spot to catch the sunset on a paddleboard.
There you go. And then it's a great location for equestrian activities for horseback riding with designated horse camps and extensive trails. Some scenic drives in the National Forest is the Beartooth Highway, North Fork Highway, also known as the Buffalo Bill Scenic Highway, the Wyoming Centennial Scenic Byway, also known as the Chief Joseph Scenic Byway. And we've been on those. Yep, we have. They're gorgeous.
Amazing.
Love them.
I love them all. I love all the roads in Wyoming.
You know what else I forgot you could do?
What?
ATVing in National Forest. Oh, yeah. We missed out on that on the other ones.
We did.
But there's great ATVing in Shoshone National Forest, especially near Du Bois, Wyoming.
Which is also where there's really good snowmobile trails. Yeah.
So riding is permitted on designated roads and trails only, but there are multiple dozen-mile trails that follow old logging roads on dirt roads, offering vast views and beautiful things like that.
Yes, we love it.
And then wildlife viewing, grizzly bears, you should look in high-altitude moth sites like Grinnell Valley. Yeah. Moose, look in the willows along the North Fork Shoshone River and Sunlight Basin Road. Bighorn sheep in Whiskey Basin near Du Bois and along rocky cliffs of the North Fork Highway. With the Whiskey Mountain herd being one of the largest in North America, with prime time from November to December. Elk, look in Sunlight Basin, South Fork Road, high meadows along Chief Joseph Scenic Byway, and then Snowshoeing and skiing are both popular on summer hiking trails, with ice climbing also available. Snowmobiling.
That'd be actually so cool to
Ice
go ice climbing.
Yeah.
I'd be kind of scared, but I think
I would be scared too, but it would be cool. There are safe ways to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's also a popular spot for snowmobiling, especially in the southern areas near Togwotee Pass. And stargazing. Beartooth Highway, it has high unobstructed sky views. Brooks Lake area for scenic backdrop with the sky. Clay Butte Fire Lookout near Beartooth Highway has open surroundings of the historic site, ideal for stargazing. And then we have Kerwin Ghost Town, which is remote with low light pollution, with low light pollution, and is great spot for being located near Matiste with 360-degree mountain views, making it ideal for viewing the Milky Way surrounded by historic gold and silver mining cabins.
Cool.
Yeah, it would be.
I wonder if you can camp there.
I bet you could.
I bet you could. But I did read when I was on their website.
Maybe there's a campground near there?
Maybe. But I read when I was on the campsite that a lot of people think it's like haunted and it's like really spooky.
Okay.
Because like you can walk through the buildings and it's like
chilling
when you go in there.
Help me out.
I was like, oh, okay, maybe we don't actually want to camp there. But it'd be cool.
It would be cool. But July through September is the best for weather and high visibility of the Milky Way core. And try to plan around new moon phases if you are going stargazing.
Yep.
Some hiking recommendations. Always do your own research before going on hikes. Look on the National Forest Service website. Talk to rangers. That's what they're there for. Blogs. But specifically learn the trail conditions before you go down the trail. And make sure you are prepared. So, for some short hikes, some little jaunts. So we have Poposha Falls, which is 3.6 miles with 764 feet of elevation. And it's a beautiful and easy trail that is located outside of Lander, Wyoming. And to see a waterfall on Middle Fork of Poposha River, you will get to hike through a valley and then follow the river and get to see the scenic mountains towering over you in the valley until you reach the gorgeous flowing waterfall. And then Brooks Lake area, which we've mentioned a few times, to visit. It's 2.4 miles round trip. That's a great trail that takes you to Upper Brooks Lake and an alpine lake. So yeah, gorgeous. And then some medium hikes. We have Bridal Veil Falls. I feel like there's 1,000 Bridal Veil Falls.
There's so many.
But it's 4 miles, 853 feet of elevation gain, and the trail follows the Morrison Jeep Road for about a mile before turning right up an old 2-track road that is now blocked by rocks. Yeah, so the road was closed because of the rocks, but you can still hike. Yeah. The hike is pretty easy until the last stretch, where you make a short but steep ascent up to the falls, and it turns around once you get to below the falls, but you can get to reach to below the falls. But then we have Jade Lake, which is 5.5 miles and 652 feet. It's a loop in the southern Absaroka Mountains, starting at Brooks Lake, and the scenic trail features a forested path with wetlands in upper and lower Jade Lakes, offering views of the surrounding mountains. And then for long hikes, we have the Deer Creek Trail, which is in the Washakie Wilderness, and it's a challenging 12-mile trail, and it is a rugged backcountry trail that provides scenic Washakie Wilderness and views of Deer Creek Falls.
Okay, and then
this is the one we were talking about.
This is the Cirque des Towers to Fremont Trail Loop is what it's called. But it's it's relatively popular, I would say, backpacking trail.
Backpacking. It's too long.
23
to do it in one day.
I mean,
it's also hard.
Insane if you can do it in one day. Like that's.
Well, even if I would try. Do you remember how it says if they're that long and you're going up in elevation?
Yeah,
they don't even recommend
too much
to do it.
Elevation change
and strenuousness on your body in one day. We're only human, okay?
Exactly.
We're not a Wolverine.
No, we're not.
Although there is a Wolverine man, but I don't think he. But do you think he could do that? I don't know.
I don't think anybody could do it.
I don't think so.
I think it takes crazy. Yeah. Anyway, so it's 23.7 miles long, with 3,871 feet of elevation gain, which is less than what I thought.
Yeah, for that being that long?
Yeah.
Very true.
Okay. Apparently, this heads up. Part of this route over Texas Pass is a non-maintained trail. You will be navigating completely off-trail over a steep, narrow thing. To complete this route, it is recommended to have full experience with off-trail navigation, backcountry level, and mountaineering.
That counts us out, unfortunately.
Yeah, big time. It is also a good idea to download your offline map ahead of time and bring a printed copy and compass as backup.
We recommend that every time.
You'll climb to over 11,000 feet on open ridges,
Wow.
boulder hop alpine shores, traverse snow fields.
It sounds so fun.
And descend into the spired granite atmosphere of the cirque. So that's like
It's gorgeous.
Here. It's amazing. But on this trail, you descend into the middle. You go into the. It's so cool. Oh my gosh. If I was a superhuman, I would do it. If I was just a magical superhuman, why am I doing this the hard way? Show me.
There's so many alpine lakes you pass, too.
Yeah. There's
a lot.
Diamonds. I won't go through all of them. Oh, you get to hike right along Big Sandy Lake.
You get to hike along a couple lakes.
A lot.
Yeah. So it'd be a very scenic trail.
Yeah.
But obviously backpacking, which I want to do one day.
So I'm not good at reading topographical maps, so I can't tell where. Is this?
Yeah, I think this is the isn't it?
Isn't it
this?
It?
Yeah. I don't know if you go down
I bet maybe that's in this one. Well, no, I don't know.
Okay, anyway.
But it looks like
regardless, it's very cool.
Regardless.
It's gorgeous.
Cool. Sights. I don't know mountains. Yeah. That's crazy bonkers.
Yeah, because I remember seeing pictures of Wind River, and I thought, how does it look like this? But you got to go back up in it.
But yeah.
It's gorgeous without going back up in it.
It's so cool.
But it looks like a different country
when
you go back up in it.
Yeah, it does.
It's crazy.
It is.
But yeah. If you're visiting the area, we already said, visit Yellowstone, visit Grand Teton. Hey, go back an episode and listen to Custer Gallatin and visit that. Because that one's super cool too.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, go to Cody and hey,
the Beartooth Highway.
Yeah, I was like, tune in for a Patreon episode only about the Beartooth Highway.
Yes.
Which is why we didn't dive too much into it in the last 2 episodes, but
because we are gonna do a whole episode on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, what would be your perfect day? You had one day.
Okay, perfect day
National Forest.
in Shoshone National Forest. I think I
have
would...
2 perfect days already.
You have 2?
Yes.
Goodness.
Because one of my perfect days, because it's something you can only do in Shoshone, it would be the Cirque Towers Trail. Yeah. Like you wake up on a backpacking trip. And
not realistic for me personally.
Well, me neither. But
okay.
We're just saying a perfect day.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, here, this can be my perfect day, and then obviously we're doing our days together, so you get another day where you can do a much more realistic version of it. Yeah. But my perfect day, so you think about yours. My perfect day, I wake up on the backpacking trail of the Cirque Day Towers, and we get up, we watch the sunrise over the lakes with the peaks that are just gorgeous. We see some wildlife maybe. We have a good day singing some trail songs and chatting nonstop as we're walking. Have some good lunch. Take a good break. Get to our next camp, early evening. Get to watch, get everything all set up.
See a
hang out. Yeah, and watch the sunset over a different alpine mountain lake. And then get to see the stars out there with the peaks. Oh.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Very good. That sounds like a good day. So on my day, I think wake up, catch the sunrise at some really pretty lake, do
Brooks Lake area maybe.
Well, that's what I was thinking for sunset because paddleboarding.
Oh, yes.
Because I'd want to paddleboard.
Well, we have Tagwoti Pass for views of the Wind River Range in sunny morning colors. Yes. So that's not a lake, but you get the Wind River Range.
Get the Wind River Range. Oh my gosh! But then I forgot you can do a guided hunt on horseback. That's my perfect day.
That's a good one.
But then also spending another day in the summertime paddleboarding. Going to
doing
Kerwin,
the Chief Joseph Scenic
Byway, Beartooth Highway, all the scenic drives.
Yeah, I was pretending
hikes. I'd want to see some waterfalls, so that would have to happen in the spring. But
so
this
we're
is all
going
happening
back
in the same
5 times.
No. It's the same day, except it's the perfect day, so I get all the seasons in one day.
Okay.
At my command.
Okay.
Because Because then also, you know, it'd be fun to go do some snowmobiling out there.
That's very true.
But all 4 seasons in one day.
Okay, so we both have unrealistic perfect days.
Completely unrealistic, but it's fine.
Okay, a realistic perfect day would be to drive one of the scenic byways, catch a sunrise.
In the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would catch a sunrise and then drive it early morning.
Yep.
And then probably do a hike.
I agree.
Maybe a waterfall hike.
Yes.
Or the Brooks Lake. Maybe hike the Jade Lakes over by the Brooks Lake area, and then we paddleboard on Brooks Lake area, like
in the middle of the day
for sunset.
Oh, for sunset.
We do Jade Lakes hike in the middle of the day.
But I would also want to go to Kerwin.
Oh, ooh.
Well, and that would take a while because it's a
remote
40-mile drive there and another 40 miles back.
So basically, you could have a perfect week there in any season.
Yeah.
So
we've come up with a couple different ways to do that. Clearly.
Yeah, clearly. So, I hope you stuck with us and enjoyed learning about Shoshone National Forest. And like we said,
I think the foxes were so cool.
Wasn't it? It was a valid rabbit hole, I think.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Completely valid.
Yeah. Thank you.
Like, the whole, I still can't get over the whole magnetic magic eyes.
I know.
Like,
and they're,
what?
I like that they're ears are satellite dishes.
And then I think it's so cute.
They do all of their things so well. They see so well, they hear so well, they pound so well. Oh my goodness. Look up a red fox pouncing. It's the most adorable thing ever.
It is.
Your heart could melt.
Oh.
If you don't like fox, I don't know how you could watch a fox pounce and not like it.
Yeah, honestly. I don't know how
You're
it could
so silly.
It has to bring a smile to your face. If it doesn't, I don't understand.
It brings joy to my heart.
Me too.
It's so adorable.
Yeah.
Especially in the snow. I love seeing a good red fox in the snow. I know these ones aren't all red, but yeah.
Six faces.
Yeah, it's just very cute. Okay, well, thank you for listening.
Please like, share, and subscribe to
Sleeping in Park.